And here we go, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh because, two horses could be dangerous.
Absolutely.
It's our health and safety show today because it is Christmas time.
It is. I mean, the hat and the jumper probably give it away, Graham, don't they? But if anyone, wasn't sure, it's Christmas time.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's our opportunity today to reflect and look back on the year gone, and possibly think about the year ahead, and talk about what on earth we haven't learned. and clearly, I'm going to say this as a starting point. Clearly, people have still not learned to use a laptop properly.
No.
Very, very worryingly, really, isn't it? In all of this last couple of years of the pandemic, people working from home, doing their thing in a more remote way. We still have not managed, even though I think we've picked up a few people along the way, and we've educated them.
Yeah.
We have, but I think in general, people have not managed to learn how to use a laptop. And I apologize at this point for anyone that's listening to this on Spotify, but this is what people are still looking like after several hours of laptop use. Yeah, there we go. He said,
but here's the question, Graham, and here's the question. We've picked up people on the way. We've converted people. We've sort of educated them. If people still aren't doing it, and I think we're doing a good job, and so are our colleagues whether it's the other manufacturers or whether it's our colleagues within the ergonomics sector and our resellers and all that sort of thing. We're doing a good job. Why is the message not getting out there with greater breadth and depth? Why are we still seeing this? What are we missing, do you think, in your opinion?
I still think, and this must be our mission for 2023, I still think what we need to do is make it cool.
Okay.
Right? I think it goes beyond teaching people to do it from a health and safety point of view. I think we've got to make it cool for people to use accessories and think about their ergonomics,
right?
Rather than just teach them. Oh, we've got a squirrel today. Excuse me, I have to interrupt.
Okay.
We've actually got a squirrel, folks. Years ago when we started this, we potentially looked out the window every now and again for pigeons, but
pigeon
exciting today, possibly because we've got the Christmas nuts on the table. We've got a squirrel instead.
And Graham, anyway, just as you said, pigeon watch. Have a guess who's appeared.
Oh, it's our friend. Nice attire, thank you. There, it's Richard.
Thank you, Richard. Sorry, he was one of our originals. He was one of our original pigeon watchers, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was. He was. Good man. No pigeons today, Richard, but you'll be pleased to know there are squirrels out foraging for nuts. So yeah, what I was saying was that I think we've got to make it cool somehow.
Okay.
All right. I think so. Part of the problem is, especially within the digital age in which we live, is so many people, and we've seen this throughout this year as well. So many people take selfies of themselves using tech, but without ergonomic aids, probably because it would obscure their face. Right? So somehow, pigeons versus squirrels, who would win?
Ooh.
I'm definitely going squirrels. Squirrels are really mean. I'm sorry if anyone thinks that they're cute and cuddly. Squirrels, I've seen them in action. They're tough nuts. Right. But yeah, I think we've got to make it. I think somehow we've got to convince people to find a way of being more creative and showing them using stuff in a creative way.
Okay.
So I think we should raise that as a kind of challenge.
Yeah.
To anyone that's really interested within their business of promoting health and well-being, right? For one, stop using footage or stop stills footage or stock photographs of people using laptops, lying on sofas, bent over on the table, whatever else, right?
On a beach.
Stephen's company have got loads of images you can use of people using a laptop correctly.
Yeah.
Just nick them. They won't mind. I'm telling you, it's free marketing for them.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
They really won't care. Secondly, so put that everywhere. Secondly, if you're going to take photos of yourself using a laptop, find a way of being creative with that laptop stand. Find a way of being creative with that separate keyboard and mouse. Come on, surely you're creative enough to think of some way of doing it. The ergo sector do it all of the time. Why can't you do it?
Yeah.
And thirdly, that they are eat nuts. Right, there we are. Stuart, thanks for joining.
Cheers, Stuart.
Cheers for that. And thirdly, I just think we've got to make it cool. We've got to get people telling other people, showing other people how to use this thing.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. Definitely, because we've done the and we will continue to do the educational piece from the health and well-being angle, and we talk about that, and there is it is saturating with some people, but it's still not getting there. So as you say, maybe that other angle, if we just do with a celeb, couldn't we maybe sort of taken some stuff on board and getting some nice images out there on social media in social media land with some sort of celeb with a load of kit? That's just what we need to line up.
Interestingly, when I've been doing my music thing, the amount of times where a musician has said, "Oh, actually, do you know what? That looks really handy. I've never seen a laptop stand, and actually that would be great for when I'm gigging or whatever." So there's a challenge for people. Maybe if you're a musician, you're a creative, you're someone that's out there on the cusp, out there in front of people all the time, and you're using a laptop maybe for sequencing during gigs, maybe you're even using it for mixing. Even DJs out there, if the DJs over Christmas period, if you're out there, right, think about it. You don't want to be hunched over the laptop that you're pretending to do your 12, your deck mixing on. It's bad, isn't it? In my day, you actually had record players, right? Yeah. But these days, they have a couple of laptops. But you don't want to be hunched over your laptops. You want to be out there looking at the crowd, as you're going, woo, woo, woo. So, to get your head up, and make sure that you're doing it properly, you want a good laptop stand, separate keyboard and mouse, right? You could be innovators. You could be the people we're looking for. So if any of you out there, if just by chance there's a famous DJ watching this, Stephen would love to get in touch with you. He'd love to see your kit, right? His kit being used at a rave this Christmas. That's fantastic. Oh, and we have Philippa Butler.
Hello.
Come along as well. My son's Christmas requests a screen, a mouse and keyboard for his laptop. He's 29. Yes. But it took him till he's 29 to work it out.
No, hang on. Read the next comment down.
Oh, whoops, 19. Well, that's brilliant. That is what we want. That is
got him before he's realised before he gets to 29 that he needs to have some proper kit. Yeah. And I think there's another thing. Okay.
I think we need to start telling people. It was interesting when we had Claire on the other week. I thought that was really interesting because she was starting to come up with some stats that were showing that actually people are starting to get these conditions earlier on. And now this must come back down to what we've been talking about previously as well. We've got to start an education program. We've got to start this younger, right? Because otherwise we are actually going to have another epidemic happen here, right? And it is going to be people burning out before they actually they get into their 30s, because they will have used tech right from a very young age. They will be sat at home. I need some proper kit, please, Santa. There you go. Dan Williams wants some proper kit. I'm sure Dan,
we can look after Dan.
Yes. Stephen will help you out.
Yes.
Have a little DM with him afterwards. All right.
We will.
Dan would be great because Dan will then showcase that to the world.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. So, but I think we need to do that. I think we need to show youngsters how to do this. And I think we need to start getting that data. So any of you ergonomists out there, any of you physios out there, I think the more you can help us by collecting data showing that actually from a younger age, people are starting to suffer with musculoskeletal disorders or back problems or whatever, almost the better at this point.
Yeah.
Because obviously we need to reverse that trend. And if anyone's got any great plans for how we could get this into education, how, do you remember like when years ago, I remember getting invited into a school to talk about paper, for goodness sake.
Yeah.
When I when I used to sell paper.
Oh, they were crazy days.
Yeah, well, that wasn't even interesting. Did you ever go and do school talks?
I don't think I did school talks. No. But I mean, I bet they were a tough audience, weren't they?
Yeah. Well, yeah, when it's paper. But look, the world of ergonomics. This is exciting stuff, right? I mean, at least you've got gizmos and gadgets to show everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that's great. I mean, my wife gets invited into school. Let's be honest here. My wife gets invited into school to hand out toothbrushes and talk about oral hygiene. Well, why are schools asking dentists to go into schools to talk about that, but not talk about how to use kit, right? When actually every single person, again, just like your teeth, every single person will be using tablets, mobile phones, laptops, etc. Surely this has to happen. So we just need some schools as well. In fact, if you find the right school in this area, Stephen will come down. I will come out of my hovel for the day, and we will go into a school and we will do it. And actually, we might even present it, right? And we might even record it so that we've got like a little recording, so that we can then put it out to other schools. How about that?
So we've got on our wish list schools, musicians, someone famous.
Yeah, footballers.
Well, yeah, well,
I'm going to say footballers.
Why not?
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why footballers. Because footballers understand their a short career, right? I think we may be missing a trick here. Maybe we need to be using footballers to talk about. Well, I can only play for so long, right? In my career, and then I have to bow out, and then I have to go into something else because my body just can't take it after a while. I've got to keep up with these people, and if not, it's quite depressing when you put someone up front playing for England and they can't run around us. Anyway, look, enough of the politics. I think maybe footballers are a great example of that kind of the body giving up on you, and maybe somehow we need to tie that in and show young people that actually this could be you, but in your career, if you don't look after yourself, you're gonna restrict your career in what you're doing, and you may end up.
Yeah, I mean, we use the analogy in one of our sort of presentations that we talk about comparing an office worker or a computer worker, compare them to an athlete, talking about if you're going to perform well, it's having the right equipment and the right training and the right knowledge. And it applies all the way through, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If you're a top athlete, but you're given a pair of running shoes that are sort of 6 years old with holes in the sole, it's not going to help you perform well as a runner, is it? Equally, if you're given a computer user, you're given nothing to sort of work with, you're given no knowledge as to how to work it, how are you going to perform at your best? So you're right, there is a really good analogy. It doesn't necessarily have to be football, but I'd say sport. There is that real analogy between, and I'll get that for after Christmas. I've got a great slide, Graham, and we'll throw it up, and it just talks around the similarities between, as I say, a computer worker and an athlete, and how if you want to perform to your best, having the right knowledge and equipment and training is the way to go. Because
let's be honest, too many people that I've met working in an office don't look after themselves, right? Because it's too easy. It's just really too easy, and maybe even more so working at home. How many people, hands up, how many people are working near a kitchen? Yes, you. That's right. I see you now. And in fact, I had one of those on my Zoom call this morning in the little group that I met with. And bless him, this guy, he's actually doing 9 days worth of fasting for charity next year, which is immense.
Wow.
Really, really good. In fact, I think we'll get him on here to talk about it, because I think that's amazing.
Yeah, brilliant.
But actually, he said it's going to be the thing that's going to make it so difficult is that where he is and where he works all day long at home is right next to the kitchen.
Ooh,
imagine
that's
that.
going to be tough.
But I mean, that actually has that. Has that been a problem for a lot of people? Is that, in terms of the old exercise thing as well? At home, it's like, especially at this time of year, my goodness. I mean, I think the shops must be absolutely loving it, right? Because if look, let's just do some simple maths on this, right?
Okay.
If you work it out, when did stuff start chocolates, biscuits, all of that stuff, the Christmassy stuff, when did that start hitting the shops?
October.
Right. How many people bought that stuff in October and it's still sitting in storage now downstairs in their house? No. Because clearly what they're doing is they're putting it in the shop. So you buy it then, and then you buy it again, and you buy it again, right? Because got it there, gonna eat it.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. People are like that. So, and I think I've seen it in offices as well. I've been to see people in offices, and they are like 2 minutes down the road from Greg's or some other fast food raconteur, which is great. But it does mean that come lunchtime, there they are buying a 4-pack of sausage rolls, buying a 6-pack of donuts, and consuming the whole lot in one sitting. I
can't believe you did that, Graham. That was really greedy of you to do that.
I know. I should stop that, shouldn't I? Yeah. But actually, it's the truth. These are the truths that we're telling people out there. I mean, some people will be absolutely appalled by hearing this, but it is the truth. And it's true because when I was a youngster, and I don't know about you, Stephen, I used to buy sweets once a week from the little shop that was just down the road from me, which looked like a house and actually turned into a house later on, right, when it demised as a shop. But that little shop, which was sold the sweeties, and it sold like milk and butter and all of those things, and a few vegetables and stuff as well. It used to have a little display behind the person serving, and there were lots of little jars, and you could go in and you could buy sweets for a penny or sweets for half a penny, even, because we used to have those back then.
Now, when did they get rid of the half penny? Early 80s? 83,
yeah, it must have been that sort of time. But anyway, so you'd go once a week with your 10p, may have gone up slightly from that at some point, and you'd get your little white bag, and the little white bag would have been about this size, no bigger than your index finger, really. And you'd open it up, and they put in 10 sweets or 20 sweets if they were tiny ones that were half p, and that would be it. These days, right, massive great bag of Haribo or some other make of sweets. I mean, it's huge. Everything's become bigger. Right then. And they're not stupid, these shops that sell 4 packs of sausage rolls at lunchtime and a 6-pack of they're making you think it's fine to buy it because other people will think, oh, well, that's fine. They're buying it for them and their mates, or they're buying it for their family, and they're going to take it home. No, people are going and eating it all.
Do you know the one that gets me? And I'm sure some of the listeners and viewers out there will relate to this one. Whenever you go out on the motorway and you're calling it a services, and you see a bottle of pop, and it's like £1.75 for a bottle. Let's say £1.75 for a bottle of top. buy 2 for $2.50 or whatever. Now I know it's a better deal, but you end up drinking the 2.
Yeah.
And it's just like they're flipping clever, aren't they?
Yeah. Very clever.
If only
Very
we could
clever.
apply this to ergonomics, Graham, we'd be laughing.
Yeah.
This time next year,
we've got to find a way
Rodney.
of applying that. Yeah. Buy one, get the second one at an extortionate price as well. But actually you end up with 2. Yeah. Brilliant. But I think somehow we've got to make it cool for Yule at this time of
cool for Yule.
Cool for Yule at this time of year.
But it is though, isn't it often? And nothing springs to mind immediately. But I know this has happened loads of times. You just need one little thing just to turn the dial. And it then just rolls and rolls and rolls, doesn't it, from there? You know, people who've never got involved in something, somebody picks it up, or it's seen on a TV show, or it's seen on a film, or something like that. And if it sort of just rolls and becomes a phenomenon, doesn't it, from that? So it's maybe something like that. There's one. Can we get it involved? Can we get a TV program? What are they? I mean, it would probably get potentially in the way of some of their sort of body, but like GMTV and these BBC breakfast shows where they're looking down at a laptop. If we could just get them to use.
No, I think we need something cooler than that. I think we need some kind of like crime scene investigation, some kind of murder type thing on TV where like all of the coolest characters are using laptop stands. And
so who do we know in TV production? That's our next thing.
Richard might know someone in TV production. I'm sure he does. Oh, I think we should reach out into the community, see if there's anybody watching who knows somebody in TV production. We will get free kit into a production, right? But let's get
imagine if we got it on Coronation Street or Stenders or something like that.
Oh, would that be amazing?
Yeah.
I mean, it was just like
Graham. There's our challenge. We've just set ourselves a challenge for 2023 is to get some backer kit on
a
TV program.
A TV program, and even better than that is to try and get it into a reveal scene. Right, where like they bring someone back. Yeah. So it's like a soap where someone's been away for a long while, and then they're going to bring someone back. So there's a scene where someone walks into a cafe, or they walk into some area, like the Queen Vic, right? And there's someone there using their laptop on the laptop stand and whatever, and they're you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I do.
And you can't see their face, right? Because it's behind the laptop screen. And then it pans.
And they do this.
And it's like, oh my word, it's them. They're back.
And then it goes doof, 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 doof. Then the doofs then come in. Brilliant.
Yeah. What a great challenge. But only if we can get a pigeon or squirrel in too. We'll do that as well. Yeah.
Hey, if we can take on that challenge.
Richard, if you can help us make that happen, that would be brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that's what we need, though. We do. We need that. We need it on TV. Nicola, who we both know, Nicola Adams, she did it once.
Did she?
Yeah, she got her chairs onto Holby.
Oh, right.
Yeah, don't know whether you remember that, but Rick Griffiths, used to sit on one of her chairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it's got to be done. Dallas, what's we got? It's Dallas and the shower scene where Bobby, was it Sue Ellen, trips on a laptop.
Brilliant.
Oh my goodness. Boys and girls, if you're too young to remember Dallas, it was an old TV show in America that was really famous at one time. And then didn't Bobby Ewing come back as a ghost?
No, Bobby Ewing got killed.
He got
killed off. And then it all turned out every episode between then and him coming back was a dream of his wife or something, wasn't it? Someone I'm sure on the comments will correct us, but I think it was all a dream of his wife or whatever, and then went from there. And that's a great point from Dan. No one does happen. Having said that, I mean, surely, I mean, I don't watch EastEnders anymore, but surely there's a lot of people, sort of mobile workers, dropping into the Vic, aren't they now, and just sitting there and ordering a pint and they're, pie and mash and eels and knocking a few emails out. Surely
that's a really, really interesting point. Well done, Dan, for pointing that out. Nobody has an office job in, so yeah, it's not really a good representation of the East End of London. So you work on the market, or you work in?
Wasn't there a car dealership on the square as well?
Yeah.
Old Frank Butcher, Pat.
Yeah, what a bit.
Run around, that program he did.
Yeah, run around. Oh dear, we're going to descend into old TV.
Do you know what?
Programs
Yeah,
now.
What they reminded
Bullseye next.
Yeah, well, that reminded me. We had the Gavin and Stacey Christmas special on the other day, and it's the one where they sort of all go round and they're all doing the pat, 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 pat. Have you seen that scene?
Yeah. No, that's brilliant. I'll tell you who else we should get involved, because to me, talking about old programs, he really was the sort of originator of being able to take something which was quite uncool and make it cool.
Okay.
And he was on Celebrity Gogglebox the other day with his daughter. This is a bit of a quiz for all of you out there now,
right,
including Steve. So he was on Celebrity Gogglebox with his daughter and his grandson, right? And he used to do children's TV.
Ooh.
Right?
Okay.
Any guesses? I'm going to give you another clue, everybody. So his daughter is a famous DJ.
Oh, was it Johnny Ball, Zoe Ball, and Woody? Is it?
Yeah,
no, Woody.
That's
Woody.
Right. Yeah, Woody. Yeah. Johnny Ball. Right. So because of that, I went, do you know, he used to be on telly to my kids. So I then looked it up and I found the old TV shows that he used to do. Think of a number. Because Johnny Ball was a mathematician.
Yeah.
And Johnny Ball, bless his cotton socks, made maths cool when I was a kid. We need Johnny Ball. Johnny Ball could make ergonomics cool on TV.
And there's a link here, Graham. There's a link here. Let's think this through.
Yeah.
Who is the father of Woody?
Yes, Fatboy Slim.
Fatboy Slim,
DJ
Cook, DJ, and yeah.
So
it's all connected. It's all coming together.
It is. We're going to reach out to Fatboy Slim. Yeah.
Is he on LinkedIn, do you reckon?
Dan's laughing, which is great. Is he on LinkedIn? I don't know.
Midura is though. I think I'm connected to Midura. I think.
Yeah.
I think everyone is, to be honest. I mean, I'm bragging about something that probably everyone's connected to Midura, aren't they?
Bless him. We love Midge on LinkedIn.
Hang on. What about friend of the show and former guest, Squitty Politti, Tom Morley? Yeah. He could help us out.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know if anyone's been watching Tom's recent posts, but they're fantastic because they've been video footage of him in his early pop career. Yeah. Being quite flirty with the ladies.
It was excellent.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. But it was, there he is on. I mean, it showed the decadence of that age. I mean, they're on set and they're like all doing the champagne and everything else. When there was so much cash to just throw around on such frivolity. But he was living it. Good old Tom. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So maybe that's it. Right. So we're writing a list now.
Yeah. Someone checking it twice.
Absolutely. I think he is. I hope he's taking notes.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm literally going to write this on the board now. So we are going for TV program.
Yeah. TV program.
TV program. We are going for DJs. And
education.
Yeah. In 2023. Those are our big ambitions, wish lists. It's good to plan going into 2023. If people haven't done that within your business yet, silly you, because it's coming up pretty quickly. It's important to think about personal development going into 2023. Mine's getting my hip better. I don't know whether you read me post the other morning, but I've got a hip injury now. I've got to sort that out. It's just so daft, absolutely daft, But I've got physio. I went to see a physio. Look, I'm doing the right thing. I've got physio. I'm sorting that out. So I'm just glad it's not me back. So personal development going into 2023, business goals 2023, and personal goals going into 2023. So I hope you've all got those all sussed. I hope you've brought what have you brought? You can tell me, because we won't tell anybody.
Yeah.
What's the best Christmas present you bought someone this year?
Oh, not the best one.
Okay, because otherwise,
no, for anyone out there who's bought something online,
and
has just assumed that the content is what you ordered, there's a warning here. So, Mrs. Howe always has the Take That calendar.
Does she?
I always get her she loves to take that. I always get her to take that calendar. I know it arrived the other day, parcel so big. I know it's the calendar. I thought this morning I'll just wrap a couple of things up. Ripped the top off the pack, looked inside, and it's Taylor Swift.
Oh, you know what you need?
What?
A little patience. Anyway,
well, luckily, Amazon have got it back in stock, so it's coming tomorrow. But I've now ended up with a Taylor Swift. And I was just thinking, how's that happened? Well, of course, TA as in take, TA as in Taylor.
And next to each other in the alphabet.
Someone's replenished.
They're literally like that, isn't it? Yeah.
So it isn't the best one, but it's just a warning out there. If you've bought something and you haven't checked the size or it's been picked correctly, companies like Amazon and all these companies, they never pick it 100%. There's always going to be a little percentage tolerance where they've picked it wrong. So if you haven't checked, my advice would be check now.
Yeah. How old is your younger one?
11.
Too young for Taylor Swift? It depends how
he'd probably describe her as sassy, probably, or something like that. So,
okay, so
my sister but I'm going to try and find a use for it.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, you can't really get away with that, can you?
Well,
using the Taylor Swift.
Put it this way, right? Put it this way: if no one takes it, do you see that space over my shoulder?
It's going up there. The planning for Wow Ergonomics 2023 may end up being on a Taylor Swift calendar.
Well,
you never
absolutely.
know. EastEnders Ergonomics. Ricky! He's only got the trip over the leading laptop show. Who left it inside the Rick? Was that inside or outside? Outside. Oh, it's outside.
Outside.
Who left it outside the Rick? Oh, I love this. Richard could just write the whole dialogue for the scene with the ergonomic accessories.
When did we last have Richard actually as a proper official guest on the show? He needs booked in for January.
Too long. Richard, do come back in 2023. We've missed you, mate. And besides which, you've got better camera equipment than anybody else.
Yeah.
So you actually make us look even better.
Yeah.
From a production value point of view, you kind of raise the game. And the value of our offering muchly, so that would be good.
I mean, our standards are pretty high, but he's got the ability to raise them even higher.
Absolutely. I'm trying to think what's my best Christmas present that I've bought. I mean, I'll tell you what, I got a doubler on.
Okay,
I got a doubler on because quite often we do the school photographing. Yeah. So, the kids had the youngest two had their school photographs.
Are they together? Have they got one where they go and grab one from separate classrooms?
Yeah.
Stick them together on the same photo.
That's it. So, all of the rallies, I've got a lovely signed copy of that. But you know, I was thinking, oh, maybe I could extend this out to a few more of these. Anyway, the photographic company that I ordered the prints from,
right,
the prints didn't come within the allotted time. So I just went online and I went, your prints haven't arrived. And they went, oh, that's awful. So they sent me some more. And then, so get this. So that
we know where this is going.
Yeah. So they took like that from that point, the prints took like a couple of days to come. But this was like 14 days after I'd originally ordered the prints.
Yeah.
And then 2 days later, the original prints
turned up.
What's happening with the post this year? Absolutely
I don't think it is happening. I think the post's done now, isn't it? If you've had your post today, that's you done until 27th, 28th?
Till whenever. Yeah. It's a bit like trains. We won't go there in terms of this. Definitely has been the year of
certainly on a train we won't be going anywhere, will we?
Strikes and stuff, isn't it? You know, it does feel like the 1970s again at times this year.
Yeah, it's tricky.
It is.
Political football we don't want to get involved in, but
I know. I totally appreciate that people have got to make their stand, and I think it's absolutely right because I think it's, you know, people have been left out in the cold for too long. But it's it's a difficult situation. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, let's hope you've all got your Christmas presents already now. If you haven't got them now, I do. Here's the thing: I do not understand. We're getting off the subject of ergonomics a little bit, but you know
we'll
what?
Get back onto it.
It's the last show of you know.
We've already set our goals. Great, we've done the ergonomics. Great,
we've done it. Yeah, we've done some great bits.
We can chew the fat now.
So look, here's something I don't get. I do not get people that leave it right until the last minute to do their Christmas shopping. With the strikes, if you haven't posted it now, you won't write yet. 2047.
You'll be lucky.
Oh dear. Yeah, no, I don't understand. Like when people go like, you go, if I go over to the supermarket tomorrow, I bet it's rammed. I bet it's absolutely rammed. And half of it will be people doing their food shopping.
Yeah.
You know, getting their veg for 15p, 19p. That's another thing right there, right? Is that literally a loss? Can someone actually tell me, is that literally a loss leader? Or can supermarkets normally do that veg at 15p? Because if I want to know, if not, why are my carrots normally 89p? Right. Anyway. Yeah. There's something to be said, especially when like people are starving out there in England at the moment. Yeah. What's going on? But yeah, some of that will be food shopping, and then some of it will be people going down that gift aisle. There's always a gift aisle in the old supermarkets, whatever, and they're like just buying anything off the shelf. You suddenly see it empty, the gift aisle, and you think, what? Why? It's now Christmas Eve, or whatever, you know, or the Christmas Eve. Why have you left it this late so that you then have to pick up any old tap? And I what's that? Martin Lewis, isn't it? Martin Lewis, the
money saving expert.
The money saving expert. I do.
Oh, we need to get him on the show. There's another one. Put that on the list. We need to get him on the show.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, he's done the Christmas single this year.
Yeah,
did you know that? Yeah, with Lad Baby. Fantastic. Well done, Martin. For Martin Lewis. Yeah, I do want him on the show. But I did think Martin Lewis's main bit of advice, which he gave out about a month or so ago, was tremendous on his program, which was, he said, biggest money saving tip for Christmas this year is if you're in that habit of I'll buy you a present if you buy me a present, he said just stop it.
Yeah.
That, my friend. That is genius right there. Right there.
Why did no one think of that before?
Why did no one think of that before? Because why did we get into that silly habit? I mean, it seems to have died a little bit. I don't know whether you've seen this in your house, but we seem to have managed to, people have used probably COVID as the excuse, but it seems to have died off in terms of Christmas cards. Do you remember like?
Totally.
Yeah.
We've hardly got a fraction.
Yeah. A few years back, you used to have to buy those metal things with the slots in them to put your Christmas cards in, and then you'd have them hung.
Blue tack all over the door.
Oh, nightmare. And it was like, and then you'd sit there and you'd go, so now I've got to write a card to them, Yeah. No one's doing that anymore. There's one or two people that send Christmas cards, and that's absolutely right. And let the little kids at school do it to a few of their friends, because that's quite fun, but if not, other than that, silly.
Bargain of the day, Graham. Bargain of the day. Sorry, going on to food shopping. We nipped down to Marks and Spencer's this morning at 8 o'clock to get something.
One.
Absolutely rammed. Yeah. Rammed. Colin the Caterpillar cake. Yeah.
Ooh.
£10 reduced to 4.
10 reduced to 4.
Loads of them.
You had to have that, didn't you?
Well, the only problem, another story. No, we didn't, but bargain, absolute bargain. But clearly, there seemed to be a lot of stuff that the shop seemed to be getting a little bit nervous about. They seem to be, you know what I mean, pushing stuff out quite quickly, a bit nervous. They're probably going to get sat on stuff that's not going to move.
You don't think that was a quick sell before another legal case? No, it's the other way around, isn't it? Oh dear. Well, yeah. Have you watched any of those programs about the supermarkets at Christmas? That is fascinating.
Was the one the other day about Aldi or something? It was on in the background. I couldn't say I sat there and took it all in. So
I'm wondering. I'm just going to pull this back to our marketing for a minute. I'm wondering whether we can learn anything there as well, right? Mm-hmm. So Aldi, as a supermarket, when they first entered the UK, didn't do anything about Christmas. Big mistake, because we're mad on Christmas over here, right? And they realised it. They were like, they put a few sort of German brand things in at Christmas time, and people were like, well, where's my turkey and my sprouts and me whatever else? And it was like, come on, Aldi, get real. It's Christmas, right? And they've really sussed it, And then there was the year where they suddenly took to it and took to the screens with it. And there was the famous John Lewis advert. That's what they were showing on this program. So the John Lewis advert with the man on the moon. Yeah. Yeah. And the Oasis song, Half a World Away and whatever. Yeah. Right. And then Aldi did a take version of that advert with the old man on the moon sat there, and he's got like 2 telescopes, and he goes, I like this one, but I also like this one, and it's half the price of the other. Yeah. Brilliant. Right. So I don't know how we learn from that, but maybe we can also learn from the supermarkets as to how, because they know how to market something and make it popular. How do we? Brilliant.
Okay.
Because I've got it, Stephen.
Right. Okay.
I've absolutely got it. This year has been bigger than ever. It's been bigger than ever. Right. So more of the companies have done it. It's the corporate Christmas jumper.
Yes.
So it means next year will be the absolute pinnacle of it. It will be, that's when everybody will do it. Right. You've got to have a back at Elkheisen Christmas jumper.
Oh. Can you, as your scribe for the day, can you get that on the list?
Yeah. Imagine that.
Yes.
And it's got to say on it, remember your elfin safety. We're back at Elkheisen. Yeah.
Now, speaking of elfin safety, we're obviously not here next Friday, but the following Friday when we're back, which is the 6th of January, we have the safety elf on.
Oh, fantastic.
Alison Thompson is joining us, and she's been on the show. Oh, it's got to be 18 months, 2 years since she was on the show. But the safety elf, we should have had her on today with Christmas, shouldn't we? With the safety elf. But, we'll just keep Christmas rolling with her.
But she's too busy today because she's helping Santa, remember?
Absolutely. Yeah.
She's busy sort of, making sure that no accidents happen, no slips or trips happen.
Tripping over laptops in Albert Square.
Well, no, but you got to think, like Lapland must be a really awful place to kind of work. I mean, there's a lot of ice about.
Yeah.
I mean, that's dangerous stuff. So,
Absolutely.
you know, when you're rushing around trying to like load vehicles, etc. Wonder whether the Ergo Chair boys have thought about that. They really need to get a version of their Ergo driver, which is like a car seat support. They need to get a version for sleighs. Yeah, in red.
The only problem is the market's one.
Yeah.
One Santa.
Oh yeah, but it's great though, isn't it? What a lovely, what a nice little, nice little gimmick. Come Christmas time, you know who would pick up on it if they did it in that pillbox red would be Royal Mail. They'd get one for all of their drivers in that colour, and they could all wear Santa suits for the last few days, and it'd be they're not working anyway. Anyway.
Before we offend anyone, wrap it up, Graham. we haven't gone political or offended anyone in this show, so let's.
It's fine. It's fine. We're in full support of everybody out there. So yeah, I think that we've got a great list now. Just to recap for anyone that missed it earlier, TV next year.
Yeah.
DJs. This is so everybody else can make a list, and if they can help us, they can help us, right? Education, and right at the top of the list for Christmas next year, the Backer Elkheisen Christmas jumper has to happen. And I think what you should do is you should get yourself into photo shoots with the Christmas. You need to launch it early.
Mm.
So you need to launch it around sort of September, October time. You need to get yourself into Christmas shoots where other people are wearing sort of like the Audi Christmas jumper, the Home Bargains Christmas jumper, the Lidl's Christmas jumper, or whatever. Yeah. So it just becomes, people are like, I want that one.
Yeah.
That's it. Imagine if you could get a load of people wearing that. He's behind you.
I know, he is.
Yeah.
Did you see the comment above?
Is he really? I completely missed that because I was looking at the ball.
The door's opened. Someone's snuck
in. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Is he thinking that Santa's arrived? Because you've got that on.
Could well be.
He's like, shh, don't let Santa see me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another one for you, very quickly. Have you actually been to see Santa this year?
No. We've
moved.
We think that we're out of the appropriate age group for that now. Unfortunately, we've sort of been promoted up to the 11 pluses. So it's
right. Okay.
No.
Okay. Because I have to say, we're finally getting to see him tomorrow.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because there's not as many this year.
No.
Again, it's something that's seems to be cut back on. Going to see Santa, but we are going to see Santa for anyone that wants to know where you can go and see him. We're going to see Santa because it's my daughter's birthday tomorrow, right next to Christmas. Oh, Susan, we haven't seen you for a while.
There we go.
Happy day from Ontario. Yes, happy day to you as well. We're going to go and see Santa at Wookey Hole.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's just off the M5, isn't it? I see
Yeah.
the sign for that when we head down your way.
Yeah, Wookey Hole. Have you ever been there?
No.
Right, it's brilliant. Wookey Hole is like it's old cave system.
Right.
Yeah, with lots of stalagmites and stalactites. If you want to know which one's which, Google it. Anyway, so
tight for the one coming down, aren't they? Because they're holding tight to the ceiling. Was that what we were taught at school?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, stalagmites because they might get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, stalactites because they come down, and then and actually, some of them form columns because the mic goes up, the tight comes down, and you get a column. Anyway, massive old cave system, and they've got Father Christmas in the caves. So there we go. We're going to see Father Christmas in the caves tomorrow, and that's good. So that's the biggest grotto I've ever been in.
Yeah. We'll have a lovely time.
Happy birthday to your daughter. Yeah, thank you for the shout out. It has been a while. Suddenly, everybody appears.
Yeah.
because it's Christmas.
They'll be back in January. They'll be back with us in January.
Yeah. So last thing today then, before we go, what do you think is the great lesson that we've learned in 2023?
What's the great lesson?
No,
we haven't done enough.
I was just waiting to see whether you actually listened to what I said. What's the great lesson that we've learned in 2023? I said.
Oh, hello. Very good.
Nothing, because we ain't got there yet. What have we learned in this past year?
I think we've still got a long way to go.
Yeah.
From an ergonomic perspective, there's some great stuff going on, but we still got a long way to go. We still got a message has still got to go wider out. So we've made some good progress, but there's still a lot to do. Do you know what the best thing I learned, the best tip I learned this year? And someone might, if someone told us it on this show, I can only apologize. But someone said to make sure you've got movement when you're working, put your mobile phone on the other side of the room. Did someone say that on this show?
Yeah,
I don't think they did. Did they? That's the best thing I've learned, because then it forces you to actually move. Put your mobile phone on the other side of the room so you can still hear it, but to answer it, you've got to get up, and it almost brings in movement into your day, just without doing anything, just simply putting your phone in a different part of the office or the room you're working in.
And I actually recommended similar things to that all of the time when I was an assessor. I loved writing those sort of things in reports, because people would go, what? But, it could be anything.
Yeah.
Anything that if people tend to create like a sort of barricade around themselves at their desks of things that they need so that they don't have to move. So I want you all to just do this now, wherever you are, as long as you're at your desk, because if you're in the kitchen, it's after. And if you're driving, you need all of that stuff where it is.
Yeah, don't move the steering wheel.
Don't move the steering. Well, you can do, but actually only when you're stationary, and then move the steering wheel. In fact, actually, that's a very good point. Let's just make that very quickly. If you are ever suffering from shoulder pain whilst driving, do you move the steering column minutely from time to time between different? Yeah, because it actually helps. Because if you think about it, otherwise you're holding your arms in one position for a long period of time. Just moving it slightly does that. And it actually means that you get movement in your shoulder. Anyway, that's true.
Very good.
But yeah, if whatever you've got at the desk, next time you go and sit down at the desk, be it stapler, be it hole punch, be it shredder. I was trying to think of the word then. Be it a shredder, right? Any of those things, including your phone or whatever, any of those things that you just use day in, day out, time after time, just go and move it. Put it somewhere else, across the center of the room. So, if part of your work is like print out a report and then have to staple it or whatever, put the stapler.
Was it Claire who told us this? Because it wasn't, was it Claire the other week? Because the other one she says is if your printer's near your desk, move your printer into a different room in the house.
Totally. Move your printer downstairs.
Don't have it under the desk or on top of the desk. Put it in a different room. It forces you to get up if you're someone who does regular printing.
There you go. These are the best tips that you're going to get in 2022, because that's going to be finished soon. And then 2023, it's all about a completely different mindset. We're going to be focused on this show about taking the education of ergonomics to a completely different level. And we want to hear from you if you've got. So here's two things for you all out there. If you've got any ergonomic disasters, we really, really, really would like to see them in 2023. Even if you're going into somebody else's building and you see someone hunched over the desk or whatever, just take a photo of it, send it to us on Instagram, right? Because we're on Instagram now.
Yeah,
we'll put it up, and we'll also bring it onto the show to discuss it. We'll get one of the resident experts to say how awful it is. And also, if you do know anybody famous, whoever they are, right, do let us know as well. As long as they're not famous for having committed a crime or something like that. We don't.
No one, please don't anyone suggest Jeremy Clarkson or someone like that.
No. Mind you, do you not think Jeremy Clarkson could actually make ergonomics quite successful? No,
I wouldn't want my brand associated with him. Put it that way. He might ruffle a few feathers and be effective, but there's being effective and there's being effective.
Maybe he's farm help guy. I don't know whether you've watched Jeremy Clarkson's Farm, but the guy that works with him, who's actually really nice and tells Jeremy off all of the time, I think he'd be fine. So if you know him, then that's okay.
Or maybe let's just avoid JC. And there's thousands of famous people. Give him a wide berth.
Yeah. We're not talking about Jesus Christ, of course, because Christmas is all about that. So don't, ergonomics is so important, isn't it? I'm so glad you are focusing on it. We can all benefit from your advice.
And what a great message to finish the year on is that one from Susan.
That is where we have to finish 2022. We hope you've enjoyed Wow Ergonomics. We know you have, because you've been listening to it on Spotify, you've been watching it online, and you've been subscribing to channels and stuff. We've been amazed at the amount of people that have actually come through and listened and commented, etc. When we got our Spotify figures for the end of the year, just to see how many people had listened and how many people, had picked up on ergonomics for the first time. That's what makes it completely worthwhile, because we have to continue to fight the good fight, because otherwise there will be people out there still leaning over their laptops at the end of next year, and we just don't want that to happen. If you want to find out any more about Wow Ergonomics, the show, or any of the kit that Backer do, for example, please go in the Christmas holidays to wowergonomics.com, where you'll be able to hear and watch previous episodes of this. Catch up, have a little laugh as we do along the way, and maybe click on some of the links and find out a bit more about some of the products as well. I'm sure Stephen wouldn't mind that.
Not a problem. Not a problem.
No, you just do that. Fill your boots. Yeah. Until next year.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Wow, next year. Until next year. It's goodbye from Father Christmas. You've got to do
goodbye from Santa's elf. Ho, ho, ho.
And goodbye. And goodbye from me. Let's have a good year, everybody. A good Christmas, everybody. And we'll see you next year. Bye for now.
Bye.